What's up, fam? I am back with Faith and Futures episode 3. Like always, I always create my structure, my notes first before I jump into these. So when you see me look away, I'm pretty much just referencing what I'm going to discuss so I can stay on topic, stay focused, and make these, pretty straightforward. Um, I'm also actively in a trade right now. Um, and I'll talk about a little bit of that, and I'll kind of show you a glimpse of what's coming with, how I'm going to show you what I do and all that. But to stay on topic for what we're to discuss, we're going to talk about uh, basically, we're going to dive deeper into not just trading, but the trust and following in the God-led system that will kind of help you take the emotions out of the trading, which is, probably the most difficult thing psychologically when it comes to trading. So what we're going to do is, uh, I'll talk about reference. So I'm sure all of you have been in a trade, right? And you're sitting there and you know where this thing is going, but you bought your position right in that chop zone, right? And you know where it's going, but it's up, down, up, down, up, down. And then you start, getting in your own head. Am I right? Am I wrong? Where's it going? Did I miss, judge this? Did I, what to do now? And then you start selling for losses, and then it goes your way and you jump back in, and then it pulls back and you sell for another loss, and then it goes your way again. And you literally trade the same exact setup 4 times, take 4 losses. So then you finally sit out and then it rips, right? So the noise, right? That's called noise, right? Consolidation, noise, chop, no direction. That's a real thing, and we have to decipher what it is to, play through that noise and understand what we're going to do. So even with my own system, and I would call this a near perfect system, simply for the point that it has so many confirmation levels, and I still ended up questioning it before taking the position or taking too early because I know what's going to happen and then getting chopped out. I'm going to check my position. It's still good. Doing what I want it to do for now. And we have so the thing is how do I stop doubting, right? How do we stop doubting the system? Well, the emotions are what the doubt's coming from. So we have to have a layer of something that's deeper than our thought, right? When you have a system, you have to use the system to its fullest, and in order to do so, you have to trust in whatever you believe in that moment, to fully go, this is the system, this is what I do, this is what I'm going to continue to do, and I know that God's got my back. So what have I done? So with me, it's like I have multiple layers of scripts inside where I basically have my technicals, uppers, lowers, and then I have, what I've done is, because it can be so much to look at, is I've put in scripts to visually hit those marks so I can see them quickly versus trying to decipher each one at its own layer. And I have basically green arrows for breaks, and I have time frame alignments. I have ADX, which is a momentum cross-reference with RSI, right, relative strength indicator, and how do those communicate with each other. And I have all this stuff built into this system to give me all the confirmation I need to join a trade, right, or sit out of a trade. But I still had to find that balance emotionally to know what the right thing to do was in that moment. And even now, I still will buy early because I've seen the pattern so much. But even though I've seen the pattern so much, I'll still take the losses knowing it's going to pull me back a little bit before it goes there. And I'll still go, well, what if I'm wrong? Sell, right? And that's what we have to get out of. So, what are we doing? So I'm not just taking back trading. I'm taking back my life, my goals, what I want to accomplish, And this is, I'm sure, what all of you are doing as well. Like, you want to have this life that says, man, if I could just trade for a few hours a day, that'd be great. The flip side of that is you get green and you think there's more green, and you stay in front of that computer, and next thing you know, you've given it back because your system has slipped throughout the day. So you have to realize what your priority is, what you're trying to accomplish, what your weekly goal is, right? It doesn't have to be a daily goal. Daily goal is a lot of pressure. Even just setting any goal in general when it comes to trading can be a lot of pressure because you think there's not more opportunities. The whole market's running all the time. There's opportunities all the time, but you have to wait for your system opportunity, which is not all the time. So, what if we waited for the signals instead of jumping in too early, right? Or panicking for a late. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you quickly a little flash of what my screen looks like, but then, I'll have to go into details on other videos. But, here's where we're looking right now. And I can't see because I'm got the phone turned around. You probably see reflections and all that. But I have, trend from across different time frames. I have momentum picking up into momentum is now here. But I also have ranges that say, this is probably the extent of this range if momentum picks up, and it's probably going to deny somewhere. So if I hold beyond that, then I'm probably setting myself up for failure. This is the ADX. This is a separate Bollinger. I'll explain that one. And RSI, right? Trend, RSI in relationship to the ADX. And with that, there's a lot going on. But if I follow just the signals, right? If all the signals are aligned, then I have a play, right? And then what else do I have to do? I have to create a safety net. I can't just assume that that's a winning play because statistically it could just fall out, right? There's no way to know for 100% certainty. What I can do on my end is accept the fact that if I buy exactly where I'm supposed to buy and set a stop that's relative to, the most recent, in this case, low, because I'm going to play long, I am in long, and just say, okay, that's the risk I'm taking. It protects my account, right? It protects my account. Then that's the acceptable loss. And if that happens, I wait for another exact setup, set the same stop criteria, and you're waiting for that runner, right? One of them's going to run, and that runner is going to be much larger than your stop setup, which means your profit to loss is going to be in favor of profit. It doesn't mean you're going to profit every single time your criteria hits. So with that being said, I'm going to close this video out. And again, this is just a short kind of intro series to how we're taking this, and we're taking this and going in to the relationship of what I've done with trading and brought God into my life and had to center myself and my emotions around the system with God's, on my back, telling me this is the way, not, pull the trigger whenever you feel like it, because that's what gets you caught up in the wrong side of things. So I just want to say thank you guys for following along with me and walking this path. Please comment, subscribe. Let me know if it ever experienced a moment where your discipline was tested right before that breakthrough, right before your journey took that leap to the upside. Until next time, God first, chart second, and I'll see you guys later.